Hi guys, welcome back to another Racial Duel Legends video. Today I'm going to cover High Elves faction and their top champions. Just a quick discussion about their skills and where you can use them. Of course, if you have them, try to level them up to 60. But before we do that, just a quick reminder, if you like my videos and want to support me, please subscribe to the channel, like, comment down below. Now let's get into it. So we're not gonna go through all of the champions from High Elves faction. We're just gonna talk about the most important ones. So in my opinion, the first champion that we're gonna talk about is Arbiter. You can get her from completing all the missions. I know it's a long process, but to be honest with you guys, it's fully worth it. She's gonna help you almost in every single part of the content of the game. She's having her A1, basically attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of placing 25% weaken for 2 turns. It's the big version of weaken as well. Her A2 attacks all enemy 1 time, has a 75% chance of decreasing the duration of all enemies debuff for 1 turn. If it's booked, you can have a 100% chance. Basically any buffs that the enemy have, they can be reduced with 1 turn. Her A3 fills the turn meters of all allies by 30% and places a 50% increase attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. Heals all allies by 25% of their max HP if they have less than 50% HP. Her A4 revives all dead allies for 35% HP and then fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. Grants an extra turn to this champion if an ally was successfully revived. And she has a speed aura of 30% increased speed in arena. So this champion is gonna be most used in arena as a speed lead. She also can revive all your allies, heal them, increase place an increase attack buff, and decreasing basically the buffs on enemy champions as well, plus another weaken. I think she has quite good kits for almost all the dungeons. You can use her in speed dungeons as well, because she's filling turn meter. She can revive your allies and so on. Second champion that we're gonna talk about is Lissandra. So Lissandra, it's quite good champion for arenas and speed dungeons as well. So her A1 attacks one enemy, transfer all the debuffs from this champion to the target. So basically she can get rid of all the debuffs on herself and move them on an enemy target. Her A2 attacks one enemy, fully depletes the target's turn meters as well. What that means, basically can lower an enemy target turn meter from 100% to 0. Her A3 places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, fills the turn meter of all allies by 30% and decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 30%. Basically what this does will boost your team turn meter and will decrease your enemy turn meter on overall a difference of 60%, so 30% on your guys and 30% on your enemy team. It's really useful, especially in arena or even in dungeons. She has aura for all battles. Like I said, she's really useful in speed comp teams for dungeons. She can increase the speed by 24% as a speed lead. Third champion, we're gonna talk about Shirimani. The reason why I chose her to be the third one is because of her A3. So let's start with A1 first. Attack 3 times at random, has a 15% chance of placing freeze debuff for 1 turn. I know the chance is quite low, but you're gonna get 1 or 2 basically enemies freeze. A2 heals one ally by 50% and other allies by 20% of their max HP, plays a 15% continuous heal buff for 2 turns on a target with full HP. And her A3, the one that she's quite known for, attacks all enemies has an 80% chance, and it can be booked to 100% chance to place a freeze debuff for 1 turn. Fills this champion's turn meter by 10% of each attacked enemy. So in a normal dungeon, for example, she's gonna have a chance to fully freeze the enemy team. And like in a dungeon, you have 5 enemies. That means she's gonna have a 50% chance to increase her turn meter. She has an aura of ally defense in factions grips by 3%, quite useful. So, like you can see around her kit, it's all based on a freeze, basically managing the waves, making sure that your team is not getting attacked, and also she's able to heal your team as well. Now, if we go down to epics, I'm going to talk about the 2 champions that everybody wants them, basically. Royal Guard is the first one, known for his A2. So on A1, attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing 60% decreased debuff for 2 turns. And that's a normal attack, it's nothing special about it. But he's known for his A2. Basically, he can do massive damage on all enemy team. Attacks all enemy damage increase according to max HP. So this will scale as you go to the end game dungeons. The higher HP the enemy has, the higher damage you're gonna see. My 2 rail guards, they do about 600 to 800 damage on waves, and they can do about 2 million on a spider or even a dragon. So if this is geared properly with critical rate to 100% and critical damage percentage as well, higher, around 270-300%, this will do enormous damage. But just a quick advice about this skill, he usually gonna use it when the enemy team has decreased defense debuff on them. So basically that's why he has his A1. If you don't have anybody in your team to place decreased defense, he's gonna use his A1, and then he's gonna use his A2. His A3 attacks 4 times at random. Each hit has a 60% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Each hit has also 60% chance to decrease the target turn meter by 25%. So basically what this skill does, attacks 4 times, has a chance to place decreased speed, basically lower the enemy turn meter basically, and also has a 60% chance to place to decrease basically the turn meter by 25%. Quite useful in spider or even waves if you have him. His aura, it's 35% increased attack in all dungeons. I use him as a lead, just because of the increase of attack. So his increase of attack of 35% used with his A2, he's gonna do enormous damage on the enemy. Second epic that we're gonna talk about, Tyrell. So Tyrell, it's known for his A1 and A2. So A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has 40% chance of placing 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Damage inflicted is proportional to defense. This will do quite a lot of damage if it's geared properly. Again, he's a defense champion, so he scales by defense. And he, because of his A1 with attack, decreased attack, he can be used even in a clan boss as a lead. His A2 attacks all enemies, has a 75% chance and book to 100% chance of placing 60% decrease defense debuff for 2 turns. If the target is under decreased attack debuff, it will place a sleep debuff for 1 turn as well. Damage inflicted is proportional to defense. The reason why I said this champion is really desirable. This champion attacks all enemies and places decreased defense. His blue affinity, so it's perfect for Spider 20, for example, where you have your spider in green affinity. There are lots of champions that they can place decreased defense to their red affinity, which is a weak affinity for the spider. So if you have Tyrell, don't hesitate to take him to 60, gear him up and get him ready for your spider team. He's gonna help you a lot over there. His A3 attacks one enemy, decrease the target's turn meter by 50%. If the target is fully attack fully depletes the turn meter. If it will place a stun, give off for 2 turns. Damage inflicted is proportional to defense. Like you can see, guys, he can place stun, he can place decreased defense, sleep, decreased attack, like I said, on A1, quite useful for clan boss, and he's able to keep it all the time as well. He has an aura of increasing defense in all battles as well. Like I said, really useful for clan boss. If you want to increase your team's defense, this is your guy that can beat on lead, increasing defense on all the team, and also placing the decreased attack from his A1. Really useful everywhere in the content, guys, so if you have Tyrell, do not hesitate to use him. Now we're gonna talk about 2 rares from the High Elves factions. The king of rares, in my opinion, that's Apothecary. If you're a new starter or mid-game, and if you have Apothecary in your world, don't take him out, take him for a ride and use him in every single content that you have. This guy basically brought me to level 20 dungeons, all of them basically, geared properly. He only needs a lot of speed, and I have him on critical chance to 100% just for his A2. I'll explain you why as well. So his A1, it's quite an average, attacks 3 times a random, useful for Fire Knight. His A2, heals a target's ally by 35% HP. This still can be critical, that's why I said I have him on critical chance 100%, because he can use this heal every single time and crit. He's healing my guys for about 15-20,000 heal, and that's more than 35% of the ally HP. But you will use Apothecary just because of his A3. Place a 30% increase speed buff on all allies for 2 turns, fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. This is a massive boost for anybody that's in early game or mid game. It's basically ensure that your team goes first and will have more turns basically than enemy, which will provide you more damage in the fight as well. His aura, it's a defense aura for dungeons only, increases defense by 21. But like I said, you're not gonna use him mainly for aura. You're gonna use him for his A3, which gonna boost your turn meter of your team in all the fights. Last champion, relatively tender. I think even if she's a void, I think the majority of your guys are gonna be able to uh, have her involved. She's really useful in almost all the dungeons. So let's start with A1. Attacks one enemy has a 20% chance of placing 25% decrease attack for 2 turns. It's a small version basically. You don't need this one that much. You're not gonna place her in dungeons for her A1, but you're gonna place her for A2. Removes all debuffs from all allies and place a 50% continuous heal buff on them for 2 turns. Basically, what this is amazing in dragons, for example, and even ice golem, where she can remove all the debuffs and place a heal on your champions as well. She will remove all the poisons that the dragon will place on your champions. Also, her A3 revives an ally with 30% HP and fills their turn meter by 30%. So if the heal is not enough, she's gonna make sure that basically your guys are gonna be revived as well and placed back on the battlefield. Alright, that's all guys. Hope that you have enjoyed the video and you have learned a lot. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment down below. See you next time guys, and don't forget to level up these champions to 60 if you have them in your vaults. See ya.